let's just start by making a circle. So go in the shape tool, right? So you have all these different ones, but we'll just do a circle. How do I keep this even? Same thing. Shift. So I have a nice even circle. All right, in Illustrator, the two main move tools are these black and white arrows. All right, the black arrow moves objects. This is an object, right? So I can grab this object, let's color it, I'll take out the stroke, I'll make it green. That's ugly green. Let's make it a little less, what is this? When this is super green, what is the color term we can use? It's very what? Dark. No. Saturated, right? It's full green. The green is 255. All the green pixels are set to the highest they can go, right? So let's go like a little more muted, right? It looks a lot better. So this black one, this black arrow, that's how I move around my objects. Right? The white arrow, what do you think that moves?
Points.
The points. Yep. So I can grab a point and I can move the points. Right? So now I have like a moon. I can go back to my black one. Right? This is automatic free transform. So in Photoshop, we would need to do Command T, not in Illustrator. It's just automatically, you can transform it. So I can go there, hover over it, rotate it, hold down Shift to get it even. Right? Right? So you can get these weird shapes. I don't know. So from one circle, you can get something, whatever, right? So try that if you've never done it before, just to get the hang of like moving these points around. See what you can come up with.
Oh, I got Pac-Man.
Yeah, you can do like a little Pac-Man. You can grab some other shape tools. Don't do star, don't do polygon, don't do those. You're designers, right? You make your own shapes. Don't get things that are over-stylized. If you do polygon, you can click and pick how many sides. You can do a triangle. Triangles are fine. Oops.
So can't you like do it for like the up and down arrows?
Yeah, you can. All right, so you can do a triangle, grab that point, smush it down or something. I'm just making up some shapes here. Rounded rectangle. This is cool because rounded rectangle, you can grab these little plus signs and pick how rounded you want it to be. All right, is everyone able to do this? No problem? You can make some basic shapes? All right, should we do a little bit more? Do you feel okay? So one really cool thing you can do in Illustrator, my favorite thing, is you can use these shapes to cut. So let's say I wanted this triangle shape cut into this square. Right? I'll call it black. This is going to be our cutter. I'm going to right click and say arrange, bring to front. Yep. So this black shape, I'm going to cut that into the green shape. So there's a really cool tool. It's called Pathfinder. So as long as this one's in front and I have this shape here, I can select both of them by dragging like that, right? And then there's this in the Pathfinder tool, which once again, I went in Window, Pathfinder. We have something here called minus front. And when I click that, voila. So you get some other type of shape. What's that? So, right, yeah, right. So you start to make like a little YouTube thing almost. Not quite, but almost there. Let's see, I could grab this and like, you know, cut this shape into this. So first thing though, I like to like, you know, make sure it's in the front because it won't work. Right. So I could select these, minus front. Right. Now you can get some more interesting type of shapes, right? I don't know what I'm making. right? It's like a, I don't know, what is this? It's like a orthopedic bed with like a triangle hamburger floating. I don't know. You can also grab these and unite them. So now it's just one shape. And you can mess around with these and just do whatever. So that's the Pathfinder tool. That's a really fun tool for getting unique shapes. We might use it. We'll use it again when we make this to make these half circles. So one other thing that's a little more advanced is this pen tool, and this is what drives students crazy. But it's really not. You don't like it? I think because you guys are thinking you're just gonna go in Photoshop, and it's like the brush, right? It's once you get right, you think you're just gonna like, whatever, go like that. It's not like the brush. You can't just do that. Right? We have the pen tool in Photoshop. It's just we use it a bit less frequently. But in Illustrator, it's very powerful. So I can grab this pen tool and start to make shapes. Click, 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 click. And then go back to this, right? And then I can grab this shape, maybe take out the fill and just make it all stroke. So now you can start to get these kinds of funky designs. Right? Right? So let's say I wanted to make this rounded. Or let's say I wanted to make it more precise, right? Because do you see how this triangle's off? I can just grab the white selection tool, select this point, and use the arrow key to straighten it. Same thing here to get it a little more perfect. Right? Does that make sense? Now if I wanted these mountains to be rounded, when I select these points, do you see up here, convert? This one would round it. Right. Then you have these handles, and you can kind of manipulate them a little bit to get these other types of shapes. We could even use this to do, something. Let's see. What am I making? Yeah. All right. And then you can go in and you start kind of adjusting it.
All those more tiny cigars.
Using these handles.
Pikes.
Pikes?
Yeah, it looks like a pipe a little.
Looks like a pipe?
Yeah, one pipe.
Oh, like a smoking pipe.
Yeah, smoking pipe.
Yeah. So whatever, right? So you just kind of manipulate these points. I guess the thing is you're used to drawing, but with these, drawing is only half the battle. The other half is grabbing these handles and moving them around until you get what you were looking for. There we go. Right? So then I would grab this object, take out the stroke, and just make it a solid shape. I don't know. But still, I would go in, and it's not perfect by any means, right? Sometimes you want to just move one handle. You can hold down Alt. Do that. I don't know. I'd have to, maybe I need one more point before it's perfect. I don't know.
Can't you add points with it?
Yep, you can add points. You can go here, add another point somewhere. If it's needed. I don't know. Sometimes it just takes a while. I'm not going to sit here and do this forever. But so that's the pen tool. If you are feeling brave enough to do that, then you can use it. You can draw more unique kinds of shapes. And then go back in and manipulate them. What's that? I don't even know. Grab that and use it to cut or whatever. It kind of looks like a hand or something. All right. Any questions about this? None? Yeah, Kevin.
You went to window for Pathfinder, right?
Yeah, window Pathfinder. Let's talk a little bit about the deleting points again. So if I make a circle, and I want to make this a half circle, which is a very common shape that you would need to make, right? I would go in, I would delete this bottom point, but now what's wrong? Yeah, you don't have the line there, it's not connected, right? So I need to connect these 2 points. So I would left click, hold down shift, left click this one, and then up here, anchors, I can just say connect selected points. That'll give me the connection. It's like a elephant's foot. I don't know. Maybe I could cover this one. Could connect these points if I wanted to. Maybe not. I think it would have to be this one to this one. I don't know. Right? All right. Are you guys able to play around with it a little bit? Yeah? Kinda? In my intro to new media class, we make people. So like these, do you remember this ad campaign? Oscar. Do you remember this from the subway a few years ago?
Oh yeah.
These are like very popular types of people. They're just called vector people. You see them a lot for advertisement because they look like such approachable people. You know what I mean?
I feel like those are the most overused for ads.
Yeah, right. Well, why do you think these are so used in ads? Simple, but what else? What does this convey to you? Friendliness, right? These are nice, rounded, friendly, diverse group of people. So everybody can relate, right? That's the point of these kinds of people. So in our class, we make these because, and also it's just so easy. It's just a bunch of shapes, right? So you can start, like you could make a shirt. So I can make a circle and a square. Let's see though. But I would like maybe, how did I do it? I could cut this in half. And take this here. Merge it, right? So now you kind of got like the upper part of the shirt. Oops, no stroke. Then you can cut like a neck in it. Let's see. This font. That looks not good. But it's like these shirts. Where are the Oscar people? Right? It's just a circle, a square, and then a neck cut into it, and then a circle for a head. Some hair shape, right? I don't know. Should we make a pattern? Yeah? All right. Let's make something super simple first. Just grab the blob. You see in this paintbrush tool, if you long click, you can do blob. And let's just make it black. So this blob tool just paints blobs. This is more like what you're looking for, right? It's a more natural way of just kind of like drawing things. All right. One thing that I see that's really common when people are learning Illustrator, hold on one second, is you'll click on an object too much and you'll go to the layer. Do you see that? Just go back when that happens. So if you see this up here, just go back, because that means you're concentrating on just the layer. So the blob tool is right here. So where the paintbrush is, you long click
Got it.
and get blob tool. So you can start painting whatever. And now the difference is, in Photoshop, we were really sticking to the middle. In Illustrator, just go off the edge. It doesn't matter.
Would it be better to use a drawing board?
We're using an artboard.
No, I'm saying like a drawing board that you connect to the computer.
Oh, Wacom? It's up to you. Whatever. If you're doing drawing, yeah. But usually in Illustrator, I just work off shapes, and I don't really need it. So just kind of fill in something harmoniously. But notice I'm kind of sticking to just this edge and then down here. And I'm going to show you why that is in a minute. All right, so say this is what I want my pattern to be. This is kind of like a Memphis-y type of pattern, right? Something kind of like this. Or like any of these, maybe, like this one, right? Who knows what it'll look like when we're done. But. So I'm just going to kind of fill it in. Little circle there. Okay. So once you kind of have something, what you're going to start doing, so this was 4 inches by 4 inches. This needs to replicate exactly on this side in the same place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Command C, Command F to paste in front. So now I have 2 of these. See that? So instead of Command V, I did Command F, which I can write down. Okay. So now I have 2 of these. And I do not have enough room on here. Let me see if I can find it. I'm looking for properties, which usually you would see up top, and I don't see it. Okay, I guess transform up here. So usually I would see these up here, but since my screen's so small, I don't see it. So I need to move this over here. Would that be on the x-axis or the y-axis? X, right? X is horizontal, left and right. Y is up and down. So under transform, X, I'm just going to say -4. Right? Does that make sense? I'm going to do that to everything sticking out, to all this stuff. So I can take these, let's see, I'll undo that. I'm going to take all these things sticking out and say Command C, Command F. Now they're all pasted in front, and I'm just going to go one by one and say -4. So it's a little more tedious than in Photoshop, right? We don't have the, and I don't think you can do it all at once. At least I haven't been able to. Maybe, let's see. No, it'll move everything. Right? Okay, so once you do that, then you need to adjust. So like this one is no good. So I'll just kind of move it. Maybe I can shrink it a little bit. Okay, so this left and right, we're done. Now I'll do top and bottom. I got just this guy, Command C, Command F, transform. So now we're on the Y, right? And now I need to add 4 to move it down. Plus 4, there we go. This I don't need, just delete it. So it's just that one. Then I got these two guys, Command C, Command F, grab this one, transform, Y, so we're moving it up, that's minus 4. Maybe take this, put it somewhere else. There. Grab this guy. Y minus 4. There we go. Right, and then now that everything's done, I'm just going to kind of move stuff around so that it fits harmoniously. Maybe I'll take my blob tool and like add a few more flourishes. Whatever. Right? So just so I know that everything's fitting in there nicely. Right? Does this make sense up to now? Kinda. Some of you are able to follow along. Maybe take a second, save your work. Pattern 1. All right. Okay. So now I need to cut this, right? I want to cut these extraneous shapes. So I'm going to go to my rectangle tool, click to get this up, and I need to make a rectangle that's the size of my artboard, which is what? Do you remember?
4 by 4.
Yep, 4 by 4. And I'm just going to move it right in the middle. You know it's in the middle because it'll be half. It's a little off. It should be 2 by 2 exactly. Okay. And I don't need a stroke on it or anything. But what I do want to do is make sure it's in the front. So I'm just going to color it. Cool. So it's above all these shapes. And I just remembered I need to do one other thing. I need to group all these. So I'm going to select them and just do Command G. And now it's one thing. And you can see in my layers, when I fold down, it's all one big group. Rectangle, I'm just going to pop that back into place. Transform, make sure it's 2 inches, 2 inches. Okay. Now I can select all the stuff, right click, and say make clipping mask. Okay. There we go. So now we got something, but maybe this will work. Let me see if this works. I know there's one other step, but so now all I have to do is in your swatches, I'm just going to take this thing and drag it into there. And that did not work. I can tell already. So I'll show you, let's see. I'll show you what the problem is and what we're going to do. So now when I make something big, right, I can put, these are the default Illustrator patterns. Don't ever use those. I can use this. But see that? It's not working. Okay. The reason is when I select one of these, do you see that? We still, even though we clipped it, we still have these old bits hanging off. Right? Do you see the problem? So we need to delete all those points. So I think I can just select this.
Can't you do inverse and then delete?
Go to Pathfinder. Well, yeah, I can just do this. Clip, and now it just clipped it. And now they're gone. What did I, yeah. I did that one. Crop crop is what you need. That'll just crop it to the artboard. All right. And now let's try it. The moment of truth. So I grab this, pop it in there. Now, do you see how that filled the whole thing? Can you see on the projector? Yeah. Okay, so now let's try it. Take it. And voila. All right, get a nice funky pattern. It's kind of cool, right? All right. So I can make it as big as I want. All right. So what's one thing we don't have that we were able to do so easily in Photoshop? What's that?
In my opinion, creativity with like freehand drawing.
Oh, freehand drawing. No, but I just mean, well, what we don't have is we're not able to scale this. Remember in Photoshop, we just had the little slider, and we could scale this. So how you do this in Illustrator is you right-click, and you go to Transform Scale, and make sure you tick off Transform Objects, because we just want to transform the pattern. And now I can like scale it down. I could go back in and scale it up. Click on Preview so you can see, right? I could do 300, right? And so you can mess with it that way. So that's how you get that. It's not quite the slider, right? So say you wanted to take this into Photoshop. I could just select this pattern, go into Photoshop. Oh my God, Photoshop's really going slow. I wonder, I think I can just copy it. I was just going to drag it, but. So we can make it the same size. 4x4. I just did Command V, paste it right in there. And now we can do the same kind of process. Define pattern. Oh my God. What does this mean, waiting for libraries?
Just click stop.
What's that?
Just click stop.
Just hit stop. Yeah, thank you. Smart. So once we have that in there, I can say edit, define pattern. Make a new document. Just going to throw that one out. Finding options. Pattern. Now we got our pattern.
That looks fire.
You can scale it. Looks fire?
When you zoomed out.
Oh, when it was like all textured. Yeah, it's like a microscope, right? Like a little cell petri dish.
Yeah.
All right, so now you have something in Photoshop. You have it in Illustrator. You can also just drag this right in there. Does that all make sense? I guess I should stop the recording, right? Or do you want me to record doing the Memphis thing? Or do you guys even want to do that? Or do you think you got it? You got it? I'll do it, but I'll let you work if you don't want to watch me. I'm not going to subject you to me doing this, I think. Which one were we going to do? I found a better one. Not this one. Maybe this? No. I'm going to stop.